Greetings to everyone watching wherever you are watching from. As you can see, I'm about to leave for somewhere very important to attend a meeting, but suddenly a news pops up and I have to give out what is trending now to all my subscribers who are watching me. Big tension, big diplomatic tension between South African and Malawian government. Both sides have questioned each other. How did Bushiri escape? This was a question thrown to Malawian government from South African government. And the Malawian government responded. The question should be, how did he escape from South Africa, and not how he entered Malawi? Because if he had no way to escape from South Africa, there is no how he could get into Malawi.
The escape of Bushiri to his home country in Malawi has sparked diplomatic tensions. How much do you know about how, in fact, he arrived in your country?
The first thing is to find out how he left your country. How did he manage to pass through your borders? How did he manage to get out of South Africa? I think that's a question that is not adequately answered on your part. And it looks like that is being pushed to us all the time. How did he manage to get out of South Africa?
Yeah, the Minister, if I can come in there.
Travel documents are with you there.
Right.
He was under a court order, and he was under police surveillance, and he was also not allowed to go to certain provinces, we understand, because we don't have anything official on our desk. So these are the questions.
As you can see, everyone watching me, this is just early morning here. I still have to take care. I haven't been to my office anyways, to broadcast from there, but I have to give this broadcast right here in my car so that it will not get to you at late hour. I love to give an early broadcast. Now the Malawian government has Bushiri and Mary Bushiri under their custody. Bushiri and Mary decided to surrender to Malawian government. They took themselves to the police station and be arrested again under the custody. They have done this in regard to confide to being law-abiding citizens, and it would be a message to South African government that despite they are not in South Africa now, they are yet under the custody of judiciary system. That is to say that they have not violated the law. This could be what they meant. As you know, Shepherd Bushiri would always be a clever person. Now the question is, extradition process, how is going to happen? Because the South African government is not happy anymore. But unfortunately, Malawian government cannot just surrender Shepherd Bushiri to South African government until they have to do certain things regarding giving life to the extradition process, because sometime in the past we learned that there is a kind of agreement which they've not looked into for a couple of years. It is sort of expired contract between the two countries, and they have to fix it back before anything would happen. And by the way, know that the South African government cannot just come into Malawi to pick up Bushiri. It is Malawian government will surrender Bushiri and they take him back to South Africa. Upon the extradition process contract is reached again between South Africa and Malawi. I've got a reporter who will continue to give us update on this. So pay attention and listen. But before that, try to subscribe to Kibris Got Talent, our YouTube channel, if you have not subscribed, because we will continue to reach you with update like never before. Subscribe now so that you will follow us to the end of this extradition process and to know how Bushiri in the end is taken back to South Africa.
And the breaking news is that Malawian government then decided to go arrest Bushiri. But before they could go arrest Bushiri, Bushiri and his wife surrendered themselves. Bushiri and his wife are back in custody, but in the custody of the Malawian government. not South African government. So we don't know if they're going to be transferring them or if they're going to keep them there and see what happens next, because Bushiri is saying that he's not safe in South Africa. So sometimes a country can decide that our citizen is not safe in your country. We'd rather keep the citizen here until we know what the story is. Update on Bushiri. So for those that do not know, Bushiri is a pastor that ran away, a pastor that was accused of fraud and money laundering in South Africa. And he ran back to his country. He's actually from Malawi. So he escaped somehow and he's gone back to his country. So now the thing is, he's supposed to come back for his court hearing and everything. They granted him bail and he ran away after that, just for anyone that does not know. So now the problem is, this is about to cause a bit of a friction between South Africa and Malawi.
Looks like the escape of Shepherd Bushiri from South Africa to Malawi could create a diplomatic spat between our country and the government of Malawi, while our authorities are angry that Bushiri broke our laws by escape. I mean, we're the ones with egg on our faces. We're the ones, this guy, this Malawian national, broke our laws. He took money from our people. That's the allegation against him. He denies it.
They are all part of a treaty where someone can be extradited back to the corresponding country.
You're saying that indeed you and South Africa are partners. So then in the form of actually solidifying this partnership, the two countries do share this extradition treaty. Our Minister of Justice, Ronald Lamola, has just literally sent out this tweet. Malawi is a signatory of the SADC protocol and other legal instruments on extraditions. We will not hesitate to invoke these provisions and instruments to assist law enforcement agencies to extradite fugitives of justice.
So at the moment, Bushiri is in his country, which is Malawi, and he has made a speech in which he has all these things. He's listing out his criterias, how do I call it, criterias or whatever. He's listing out the requirements. But the thing is this, he doesn't get to make the laws. He doesn't get to make the rules. And, you know, the laws that's going to apply to him shouldn't be different from what should apply to everyone else. You see what I'm trying to say? The justice system in South Africa has existed before now, so why should it be different for him? You know what I'm trying to say? You know, so, but as it is, his bail was 200,000 rands for him and 200,000 rands for his wife, which is about $12,000 US dollars. So that day when the judge was granting the bail, he said, if you guys abscond, the money is going to be kept by the government, so you're going to lose this money. So basically they've lost this money at this point. And now the new one now is that if they do not return by the next court date, the government is going to take away his mansion. His mansion in South Africa is worth 5.5 million rands, which is about $300,000 US dollars. So at the moment is a bit of a diplomatic dilemma between South Africa and Malawi. Definitely Malawi wants to keep their friendship with South Africa.
We are trying as much as possible to grow our relationship with South Africa. We look at South Africa as our partner. We look at South Africa as our trading partner. And so many things that we think that we can create a relationship that both of us can benefit from.
As we're handling this matter, you must be aware we grow our relationship with South Africa. South Africa is a partner that we are looking up to so that we create a win-win situation. We want to strengthen our relationship. We want to be in great friendship with South Africa, and we know that South Africa can be our very, very good key partner in trade and other areas of betterment for our nations.
And they do not want to lose the relationship they already built between each other. On the other hand, you know, South Africa is not happy because as it is, it makes them look like they are weak. It makes them look like, you know, they're not like their justice system is like a joke. To be honest, they will find it embarrassing that, you know, someone that they're supposed to have under their custody slipped out. Until now, they are still asking, how did he leave?
And he escaped. I mean, he has basically, the old English phrase is cocked a snook. He has basically laughed in our faces at our criminal justice system. And you and I both know the Malawian government aren't going to give him up.
There was one place I found a bit funny. They were asking the Minister of Information, the Malawian Minister for Information, how did Bushiri enter? That was a bit funny because he said, how did Bushiri enter Malawi? The minister was like, no, you cannot be asking us, how did Bushiri enter Malawi? It should be, how did Bushiri leave South Africa? As in, basically, it's like, don't push it on us, like, how did he enter? It should be, how did he leave? It shouldn't be a problem that we let him in. It should be a problem of you guys let him escape. So put it on yourselves, and which is true, to be honest with you, because you are the one that's supposed to have custody of this guy. You lost him.
Do you know how he managed to get into Malawi?
He was living in South Africa. He started his journey from South Africa. Possibly, we also have to be asking the South African authorities how he managed to come into Malawi.
The escape of Bushiri to his home country in Malawi has sparked diplomatic tensions. How much do you know about how, in fact, he arrived in your country?
The first thing is to find out how he left your country. How did he manage to pass through your borders? How did he manage to get out of South Africa? I think that's a question that is not adequately answered on your part. And it looks like that is being pushed to us all the time. How did he manage to get out of South Africa?
Yeah, the Minister, if I can come in there.
Travel documents are with you there.
Right.
He was under a court order, and he was under police surveillance, and he was also not allowed to go to certain provinces, we understand, because we don't have anything official on our desk. So these are the questions.
So I think South Africa will find it a bit embarrassing that he just snuck out. It's like an embarrassment to their justice system because they know the world is watching and everybody's going to be like, how did this happen? And there was another report that was saying that I think as at few days after Bushiri was released on bail, his children left the country. That was already a sign. You know, I already made a video where I said before now, part of the reasons why they were reluctant to grant bail, you know, to him and his wife was because they said he had moved his most expensive cars to his country, which is Malawi. That was already a sign. I honestly do not know why, you know, he was granted bail, but they granted him bail. As it is now, his bail has been revoked because him and his wife are supposed to be signing up at the police station every, I think, Mondays and Fridays, but now that they've left the country, they've already breached their bail conditions, so their bails are already revoked, and their bail money is no longer refundable, which is 400,000 rands, which is about 24,000 US dollars. So now they are trying to extradite him back to South Africa. Him and his wife, actually. I was even surprised. There was a news I was listening to, and they were talking about how he must have left, and they're thinking he must have gone by road and all of those things. But what surprised me is that they said that Malawi actually issues, I don't know if that's even true, but they say Malawi issues up to 5 passports per person. You know? I don't think I'm supposed to be laughing, but like, why will a country issue 5 different passports to one person?
And some information, I can pick up one where the minister mentioned that Bushiri had 5 passports, but you know, the government and the media, or rather the peer to Bushiri, mentioned that Bushiri was traveling a lot, and those passports, some of them were actually full of papers, and you know, it just does not really make sense that Malawian government can issue 5 passports to one person.
At the end of the day, me speaking as a layman, as in someone that is not like a lawyer or judge or someone that knows the judicial system of South Africa or whatever, I don't know if they never return him back, what's going to happen, because normally it's not like South Africa. I can just march into Malawi and grab him. It doesn't work that way. They have to wait for Malawi to actually hand him over back to them, and so far I've not heard anything that sounds like Malawi is trying to do that. I haven't seen that, and they said, the presidency said they are not getting involved. They said they have to leave it to the security authority, to the police or something like that. At the end of the day, like I said, the South Africa cannot just march into Malawi and collect him. They have to wait for him to be handed over to them. And then, the meantime, I don't know, because those of you that are well knowledgeable about the laws and how these things work, you can just educate us, because we're all curious what happens next. But he should just go to court. He has his lawyer. I think his lawyer is in South Africa. He has his lawyer. Let his lawyer represent him, well, in absentia, because he chose to be absent. for me, to be honest with you, my biggest concern is justice for the victims, in quote, because at the moment is all allegation until proven guilty in the court of law. If truly it happened, I know some people be like, oh, Summer, what do you mean by if it truly happened? I still have to say it that way. If truly it happened and he duped these people of their money, if they can find him guilty in absentia, his lawyer can represent him. If he's found guilty in absentia, his estate can be sold. By now, his account should have been frozen. I don't know if it's frozen. If his account is frozen, there'll be a lot of money in it. And my biggest thing is this: if truly those people were duped, biggest prayer for those people, if it's true, that they get their money back. Because at the end of the day, that is real justice. I know, okay, put somebody in jail and all of that. That's another angle of it. But the idea of being able to give everybody that, suffered financial loss, allegedly suffered financial loss, the idea of being able to give them their money, for me, is the biggest kind of justice. And as always, whatever your opinion is, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.